Fitting applause there.
Could David Gold have ever believed that he would be linked with Pelé and Gianluca
Well, that's
Vialli?
a beautiful moment indeed.
Am I right in also thinking that Gill's best ever cup run, of course, in the FA Cup, was ended by a Chelsea team managed by the aforesaid Signor Vialli when they went on to win the cup.
Talking about that on our drive show yesterday, indeed, yes, and won the FA Cup for the first time as a manager in that run when Gills were at the quarter-final stage, weren't they? And as you say, in their best ever run, and that was a team of superstars that played against Gillingham, wasn't it?
They didn't mess about that day.
They really didn't.
And I have to say, that story of real class.
Yeah.
That Paul Smith asked Gianfranco Zola for his shirt, and at the end of the game, the Gills players went to the supporters and were on the pitch for quite a while, and Zola waited in the tunnel for him to give him his shirt.
Fantastic stuff. We are underway here at Priestfield. It's Leicester City, the visitors from the Premier League. Scott Kashket chasing down towards Daniel Iverson in their goal. It's Sunchu trying to work the ball away. Nice touch from McAteer, actually. Jose Perez coming forward, surrounded by 3 Gills players, and Williams gets a tackle in. Alexander does well to get a foot in, headed away. Gillingham right up for this, as you'd expect. He's Delican heading back to Jeffries, to McDonald right hand side. He flicks the ball on. Kashket will sprint after that, but Vestergaard's got a bit of a head start, the big Dane. Clears it only as far as Jeffries. He's robbed by Perez. It's all 100 miles an hour here, a bit like a League Two game, frankly, with Leicester in their white shirts with the champagne sleeves, champagne shorts and socks, and Gills in the blue, as Jeffries gets time just to cushion the ball towards Williams. Mackenzie will go back to his goalkeeper. And actually, Peter, is Mackenzie playing in a back 3 at this point, or is that just the way they've broken up?
That's absolutely right. I think it's Mackenzie. Here comes Gills coming forward.
Yeah, McDonald down the right-hand side. Cash gets supporting him, but they're in a bit of a cul-de-sac. But McAteer takes the ball off the toe, young Casey McAteer. And in the end, it's come off Mackenzie. It'll be a Leicester City throw, but rousing start for Gills, getting inside the Leicester City box.
Yeah, and every tackle will be cheered at this stage by the Gills supporters. It certainly creates an atmosphere, that's for sure.
So Gillingham with a Turner in goal. It's Alexander on the right, it's Chitonda on the left, but 3 centre halves. Mackenzie right, Ema in the centre, Will Wright on the left hand side. Then in the centre of midfield, it's Jeffries and Williams, and actually it's more or less a 5-4-1 then where they're defending. So McDonald right, Adelican on the left, and Kashket up front, just trying to feed on some scraps. That's gone over his head. He's not going to beat Vestergaard in the air to that one. Leicester City, as I said, playing a 3 with Lewis Brunt on the right hand side, Vestergaard in the middle, and Soyuncu, the Turkish international, on the left hand side. Nampalis Mendy has just picked that up, who's playing in the centre circle, Senegalese international, as it's forward towards one Jamie Vardy, goes towards McAteer on the left hand side. So Albrighton, I should say, playing right wing back, Casey McAteer, the youngster, playing on the left hand side. It's a pretty impressive midfield 3 of Nampalis Mendy, as I said, Yuri Tielemans and Jose Perez, and then Iheanacho and Vardy up front. Haven't scored many goals this season between them, but over their careers they've got 1 or 2, particularly Mr. Vardy.
A different level entirely. So early corner for the visitors.
Yeah, left hand side. Albrighton will take this, longest serving player alongside Vardy in this squad. Curled into the area, headed up but not away by McDonald. Turner grabs it at his near post. Applause from that Rain Amend to our right. I heard 1 or 2 Leicester City supporters rather gritting their teeth and saying how much they're going to enjoy being in an uncovered stand on a very rainy day. But at the moment the rain is holding off for 10 minutes. It's cleared by Brunt up towards halfway. Iheanacho goes out towards the right wing, wins a throw-in off Will Wright on the right-hand side. Albrighton to take.
Yeah, certainly. I'm not sure that Will Wright's played the left side of a back 3 too many times for the Gills, but the general shape of the team, with lots of players behind the ball, even when we're out of possession, even Kashket will come back. Leicester will have a lot of ball.
Pumped forward by Vestergaard.
We could do that all day long. we can see that in League Two. This is meant to be Premier League. What's that all about?
Just grabbed by Turner. Very simple for him. Jay Alexander comes over to chat with Neil Harris, asking for instructions. But 4 minutes gone here on BBC Radio Kent. It's Gillingham 0, Premier League Leicester City 0. Neither side has had a shot on goal as yet. Soyuncu jumping with Kashket. Kashket trying to make himself a nuisance, but the ponytail and man-bunned Soyuncu managed to get the ball away. Ball over the top. Adelakun hoping to run onto it, but it's grabbed by Daniel Everson in the Leicester City goal, Peter. Yeah,
it looks as though Adelakun and McDonald will try and get forward to assist Kashket when they can. But as we know, we've got to keep disciplined. Lots of players behind the ball. Make it difficult for Leicester to play through us. If they want to go long over the top, hopefully we can deal with that. But you'd expect the die to be cast after that initial tempo, that the game will primarily be one of Leicester in possession, and Gills making it very difficult for them. Yeah, at the moment they're trying to find a way of getting through the Gills back line as Brunt lays it off to Albrighton, swings across it, it's a good one, Vardy near post, saved by Turner. Well, there we go. There they did find a clear gap, didn't they, Peter? A curling ball in by Albrighton, absolutely onto Vardy's run, near post about 8 yards out. Turner, the quick off his line, has blocked the shot. Yeah, that's quality, isn't it? Yeah, really delightful ball, good movement, and fortunately, by the time it got to Vardy, the keeper was almost on top of him and could just about block it out. That's the sort of quality that Leicester possession. You've got to have your luck on occasions. Probing again as a low ball in towards the edge of the area, waved by Wright. Soyuncu will let it run off for a throw-in. Aided by the wind, we have to say, which you could probably hear on our microphones, shielded as they are, is blowing quite a gale. The Rainimen are rising now to salute their team and cheer them on. Clear towards halfway, the ball almost stops with the wind there. Jeffries does really well to block an attempted clearance by Mendy. He's coming forward, Jeffries into the box. Will he take the shot on? He does! Saved by Everson. It bounces away from Kashket. Gillingham first shot on target, the two sides exchanging attacks there. Tom Jeffries, really good endeavour, Peter, from the middle of the pitch, running on, taking the shot on and actually forcing what was a decent save from Everson. Yeah, I think that got a bit of luck with the initial ball coming to him, but then he's burst forward. Yeah, the keeper should probably save it, but Jake really gets the crowd going again. So yeah, and a couple of rasping tackles, getting cheers from the Rainimen as well. Wright goes in on Iheanacho there, actually places the ball against him off for a goal kick. Iheanacho doesn't like that. The Rainimen absolutely love it, Peter. It's goalless here, 7 minutes gone. Yeah, it's a decent start from Gills. We know how difficult it's going to be, but the crowd have certainly will help get the players. There was tremendous support at both the away games against Wolves and Brentford. But this is a different level of support with the thousands of Gills fans that are here, and hopefully it just gives an extra half a yard to some of the players. Fantastic atmosphere here, as you can hear from those Gills fans. Leicester somewhat quieter at the moment, but you can understand that perhaps. Ball over the top towards McAteer, takes it down on his thigh. Iheanacho now for Leicester as they come forward in the white and gold shirts. The right hand side is Albrighton, back to Brunt. They played across their back three to Soyuncu on the left hand side. He's just pointing ahead of him for a run from McAteer, but actually it's Perez who picks it up on the left hand side. Good tackle from Alex McDonald, just puts the foot in. Perez did a sort of wafty step over there, Peter, but wasn't fooling Alex McDonald. He wasn't, but goodness me, McDonald was very isolated there, and you think that Perez would fancy his chances of going past him in that situation. But again, Gills, sat back. Everyone's within about 35 yards of the Gills goal. Make it difficult for them, produce their quality. Ball into the area, left-hand side, McAteer. He's onside as well. He drifted away, shot blocked by Gillingham, but he found space on the left-hand side of that box. A warning for Gillingham there. And the back three of Leicester, well advanced. They're almost halfway in front, inside the Gillingham half. Committing is Brunt, right-hand side, curls the ball into the area. The far side, McAteer can't get on it this time, gives thumbs up
to his teammate, but he did find himself space, Peter. A bit of a worrying moment as he peeled away left-hand side.
Yeah, I wonder if anything it will be easier for Leicester in the second half to play those sort of balls, because with the elements in their favour, they really, the ball is going to go away from them. And he's played the big swinging cross there, just eluded the lad who was left wing back. But you think that with the elements against them, that kind of ball will be much easier.
9 minutes gone here at Priestfield, a packed Priestfield. FA Cup third round day here on BBC Radio Kent Sports Hub with Matt Cole and Peter Lloyd. As Turner lifts it to an angled ball, headed on by Mackenzie, will go off for a throw right-hand side. So Unchu to take for Leicester.
I think at the goal kicks, Turner will probably look to kick for Mackenzie, and when he's got him in his hands, he'll probably look to kick for McDonald as much as anything, to give us some sort of chance of winning a first header.
Brunt right of the three, all Brighton back to him. Vestergaard's in the middle now. Out to Soyuncu. Soyuncu, 4 on his back. To Vestergaard, inside the centre circle, just sort of gently making their way forward now, Leicester, with these passes. Mendy buzzing around the midfield to Ayoze Perez, but Gillingham holding their line. 5-4-1 for Kashket, almost a 5-5 at the moment, we might suggest. But played through by Tielemans. It's a poor ball from him and picked off by Wright over the top. Kashket puts his head down, he's sprinting, but Vestergaard gets that first and calmly plays the ball back to Daniel Everson, all in black.
Yeah, I think it's going to be as it was for Mandron at Wolverhampton, it's going to be a pretty thankless task for Kashket. There's going to be a lot of hard yards to do. Jules, it's just whether we can stay a little bit composed when we do get a bit of possession, that we don't just give it straight back to Leicester.
Soyuncu out towards Perez, left-hand side, the former Newcastle United midfielder, to Soyuncu, to Vestergaard. Gentle pace this as well as they play these passes. Look for increase that, presumably as they get towards the edge of the Gillingham box, but they're not managing to find a way through at the moment. There's no production line. Soyuncu will swing a ball, will he? No, just plays it to Tielemans. Tielemans out towards Brunt now. Brunt on the right-hand side on the touchline, brings it back from Yuri Tielemans, the Belgian international. Delican just hassling Brunt into a quick pass. Mendy to Tielemans. Loops the ball over the top. Chitona has to be aware of that, and he was as well. All Brighton gives him a little nudge, but goes off for a goal kick. Well marshalled there by Gilles. They can't find a way through at the moment, Leicester City.
No, I think that Leicester, perhaps a bit more than Brentford or Wolves, are prepared to play a ball over the top. But I think that we'll see that almost as a moral victory. That if they want to try and pass it through us, we're going to make it very difficult. And in these swirling wind conditions, getting the quality right, it's going to be, even for players of this calibre, it's not going to be that straightforward.
So again, that angled ball from the goal kick out towards Mackenzie goes over his head from Turner. Back over halfway, Ema heads away from his back line for Gillingham, but Mendy has it now. Right to Brunt, just by him is Mark Albrighton. I mean, to figure the right wing back and captain for Leicester City this afternoon. So once more Vestergaard to Soyuncu, left hand side for McAteer. Casey McAteer, who's a right-footed attacking midfielder playing a left wing back today for Leicester. And Brunt, who's a central midfielder playing as a centre back, trying to through ball over towards Tielemans. Foul on Kashket, who did good work covering back actually, and Mendy was forced to foul in there. Peter, Gillingham with a free kick, and that's not bad. 12 minutes gone. It's Gillingham bottom of League 2 0, Leicester City of the Premier League now.
Yeah, I think that again, the hard yards for Kashket. The ball was dinked forward. We won the first header. Kashket's reacted well, just gets his body in there, takes the contact. Ref has to give a free kick, and I don't really mad rush to take it, but obviously it gives a chance. I imagine that Turner's going to kick wide right, looking for Mackenzie.
Let's have a look now. He's Mackenzie has taken up that right wing position, if you like, halfway inside the Leicester half, and it does now go towards him. Can he win this one? No, goes over his head for a Leicester City throw. 2 early goals in the 12:30 kickoffs. One was in League 2 actually. Salford 1, Northampton 0. Ethan Galbraith with that goal in the FA Cup. Edouard, odds on Edouard to score for Crystal Palace at home to Southampton. They lead by a goal still there.
Yeah, there's a team and a manager that's under a bit of pressure, even though he's only been there a few weeks. That's a bad ball for Leicester.
Yes, indeed. Soyuncu will save it going off for a throw, but the crossfield ball had him scampering for the ball. Iversen, one Dane to another, to Vestergaard in the centre. Söyüncü looks forward, and a range of 5 Gillingham defenders. Adela can almost make 6 on the left-hand side, trying to stop the supply line. They have done so far, but for one ball from Albrighton, really through to Vardy, which forced a save out of Turner, coming off his line from about 8 yards. Gillingham, they responded almost immediately with a shot saved to their own from Jeffries, forward over the top from Söyüncü, and that's into the arms of Turner. And pretty harmless for Gills so far, and not something that these Leicester fans, who hadn't had much to cheer about recently themselves, Peter, can actually get behind.
No, I think that, yeah, that's exactly what we want to see happen. They play a straight ball from near the halfway line, and it's got to be absolutely perfect. And it was just a bit of catching practice for Turner.
Vestergaard heads away. Mendy tries to play it through Kashket, and McDonald snaps at his heels, almost takes the ball off him, but they do come away, Leicester, with the ball. Brunt through to Iheanacho, little mismove, or tries it, stepping over the ball, doesn't work. Ema clears it up towards Kashket. Wright immediately tells Ema to get back across the pitch and mark Vardy, as Leicester pick it up in their own half.
Yeah, I think also for Kashket, these defenders for Leicester, they're pretty big, strong lads as well.
Yeah. He's coming up against Vestergaard most often, isn't he, Peter, at the moment, running through the middle and more or less bouncing off him as Vestergaard takes the ball. Again, a good advanced position for them, or a long way forward for a centre-back, but crossfield ball by Brunt towards McAteer, takes it on his chest, skirts past Alexander, goes down. Have to say, look, minimal contact. McAteer chested down really well, I thought. I thought he might have kept that one on, Peter, but perhaps he saw the ball running away from him and decided that he'd try and exploit the contact, or any contact there was, with Che Alexander. Referees just turned his back and run off. Goal kick.
I don't think there's any VAR involved here, so no danger of that being reviewed, thank goodness. Yeah, I don't think there were too many complaints from the lad in question. I think just fell over, really. Yeah,
Alexander didn't really cut across him, but I suppose you could see there was just a hint of contact. Gillingham won a throw. That goal kick coming out to Mackenzie. He's jumped with his man. The Leicester player has flicked it off the pitch, and that will be a throw for Mackenzie to take right-hand side. It won't be a long throw, maybe down the touchline to try and find Kashket. Actually just goes straight at McAteer. He heads away. Second ball is won by Delican, just outside the area now as it breaks to him. McDonald with the first time cross towards the far post. Brunt heads up in the air. Can Williams bring it down? Can someone get a shot in from a Gillingham point of view? McDonald goes in for the challenge. Jeffries is there as well. Right hand side, spreads the play to Alexander, curls the ball into the area. Far post for Delican, no. Cleared by Albrighton. Gillingham on the attack though, bit of pressure for them. Tutonda. Will he play the ball back to Jeffries? He's on his heels now. Jeffries has to turn round, but pressure from Gillingham inside the Leicester box there for a couple of moments. Peter Lloyd back with the goalkeeper now.
Yeah, that's it's going to be scant moments.
Over the top, can they exploit the wind here? Adelican with Söyüncü. Adelican wins the ball off him. Back to goal, right hand side. Will it come off him for a corner? No, actually just pinballs back on Adelican, and it'll be a goal kick. But really good moments from the Gills.
Yes, they're going to be few and far between. We've got to work hard for them, but there will be these opportunities. I want to picture we didn't get a corner. And historically, it seems over recent times, Leicester's defending at corners has been the stuff of legend. Would be,
yes, a set piece would be very nice indeed. But Gillingham, showing themselves that they can break forward with menace. This crossfield ball is cut out by Mackenzie. McDonald touches it off to Williams. He's challenged there by McAteer. Kashket goes down in a heap under a challenge from Söyüncü. Ball curled over the top, looking for Vardy, who gives thumbs up for the attempt, but into the arms of Turner. That is a dangerous ball, obviously. When Vardy was pinging them in, I suppose, Peter, in their Premier League winning year, tended to be when the defence was a little bit further up, didn't it? Exploiting his pace, but you can see why they're trying to do it.
Yeah, he could run the channels, he could run in behind. But as I say, in these conditions, particularly in this first half, I think it's quite difficult for Leicester to get the quality exactly right. Ball
over the head of the defender there, but it goes off for a Leicester throw. McAteer to take to Söyüncü. Söyüncü to Vestergaard inside his own penalty area. former Southampton player, really hasn't settled at Leicester in terms of first team appearances and finds himself a little bit frozen out of the lineup this season. But, it's moved a couple of times for nearly £20 million. Obviously there's quality there which Gillingham somehow need to counter, and counter will be the tactic for them as Leicester play the ball around. Mendy to Soyuncu, out towards McAteer, left-hand side. Onto his right foot, plays it with his left back to Soyuncu. Long hair down the back towards, going over his name on his shirt. 4 on it. Brunt plays it out to Albrighton, who's hugging the right-hand touchline. Wright goes out to try and stop the run of Tielemans, who's tiptoeing down the right-hand touchline. Ball comes in towards Iheanacho, cleared by Gillingham. Kashket stabs forward. Was he tagged by Mendy? Referee says no, and Soyuncu will pick up the ball again.
Yeah, pity again there, that situation, the Gills get possession and just can't hang on to it for any period, and it's but yeah, we had this in the other games against Premier League opposition. You know, we've got to keep disciplined.
Tielemans now on the right wing, plays it off towards Albrighton, his captain. A back heel off a Gillingham player, and there'll be a throw. He'll take the throw short and quick, I think. Tielemans on the right hand side hooks it towards Iheanacho, and it's come off Wright, who's marking him, and will be a corner kick for Leicester City, right hand side, their second of the match.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, some deft touches there from the visitors. Just did the job required defensively, but yeah, we've almost made it to the quarter point of this game. Yeah, there's defence to do at this corner, but not too many alarms thus far.
Well, the good news for Gillingham is the score is 0-0 against Premier League Leicester City. 20 minutes gone, a packed Paris field. Albrighton with the corner kick comes in. It falls in the penalty area. Wright gets a toe on it. There's a Mendy, angle ball trying to find Albrighton again. It'll go off for a goal kick. Just a moment there, Peter, when it dropped in Gillingham's penalty area. Wright did get a toe on it, but danger there for the Gills.
Yeah, I think that you know, the conditions aren't easy. Ball's up in the air, it can move around a bit. You know, you're hoping there you're just going to put your foot through it and clear it. Didn't quite happen. You know that if it's on the ground with the quality of these Leicester players, anything could happen. But ultimately, we just about did enough there. And you know, for Turner, no real great threat to his goal in the end.
Now he'll take this goal kick. McKenzie again lines up on the right-hand side. Probably the target for them. Salford 1, Northampton 1 in League 2. Sam Hoskins, he's having a pretty good season with the goal scoring. The attacking midfielder for Salford, for Northampton rather. It's headed away by Vardy in the end, actually, and that'll be a Gillingham throw inside their own half.
Yeah, I don't think we need, again, you know, we're not going to be mad rush to take these. Give ourselves a moment, take a bit of tempo out of the game. You know, it's going to be hard draft this afternoon. Both
managers on the edge of their technical areas as Gillingham win another throw. Neil Harris a lot more animated than Brendan Rodgers.
Yeah, I think that in some respects that's when we played against West Ham. There's a manager here who appreciates for Leicester the importance of this competition.
Soyuncu, it's nicked by Jeffries off Mendy. Jeffries with a cross into the area, away by Leicester. Brunt with the clearance. Alexander to McDonald. Gillingham threatening the Leicester penalty area. It bounces back off McDonald. Yeah, it did come off his toe, and it'll be a throw for Leicester, unfortunately. But again, quick movement at the ball there. Intelligence by Jeffries. Just got the ball into the penalty area quickly to try and cause some problems.
Downward say just a little bit more committed to go and win the ball in the first instance on that occasion.
And Alexander wins the ball there. Here's Williams to McDonald. Kashket just running into the channel there. Mendy has to put it off for a throw.
Now we're going to see an interesting situation. They're throwing about 10 yards to the corner flag. McKenzie will surely be taking this.
Ooh, actually.
McDonald's going to take, so McKenzie's going to go and join Wright and Ema as aerial targets, and every Leicester player is in their penalty area. Take short.
Indeed so, to McKenzie, back to McDonald, tries to swing the cross over. It'll go off for a Gillingham throw, so they'll try that one again. Jose Perez was out very quickly, Peter. He was alert.
Yeah, I think, yeah, try and do something a bit different, but you'd imagine McDonald surely will hurl this into the front post area.
Yeah, McDonald will throw it in. 7 in white on his blue shirt. Throws in now towards McKenzie, edge of the box actually, flicks it on, but it's actually going to go well wide of the Leicester goal. I think he's trying to get his neck round it, Peter, wasn't he, to propel it towards the middle. Leicester take this goal kick quickly to Soyuncu.
Yeah, they want to get, remember they're playing in their own box. Gills able to press a little bit higher up the pitch.
Leicester presumably hoping to pull them forward there, Peter. That's a terrible ball by Asionchu. It goes off for a Gillingham throw. Agricultural, I might say.
No quality whatsoever. You know, they've played it quickly inside their box with the goal kick. Gills get a little bit of a press on, and he's just hoofed it away. Simple as that.
Yeah, quite
Welcome
often
to League Two.
quite often that tactic, playing those passes from the goal kick inside the penalty area, is to draw the other team forward, isn't it? So that you can ping one over, but no quality in there. It's a throw for Leicester, left-hand side.
Yeah, just flicked off Alexander's boot.
Mendy hassled by Scott Cashgett for Gillingham. Brunt right-hand side, runs past the ball. Albrighton curls the ball, trying to find Iheanacho, headed away by Wright. Little donkey kick almost by Tutonda to get the ball away. Tielemans can't get on it, ball over the top again, head down, Cashgett running towards it. Vestergaard just takes the ball right, so Cashgett has to alter his run, and it's given away though. Hakeem Adelican, can he find McDonald in the middle? In fact, no, he's lost the ball, and an attempted pass from a Leicester player comes off his chest as he goes to the ground almost. It'll be a Leicester throw. Just needed a bit more composure there, perhaps, Peter.
Yeah, perhaps just tried a trick too many. Just needs, you know, almost sort of kick the way you're facing, make it easy for yourself, and these guys are going to close you down quicker than anything you're used to in League Two, that's for sure.
Soyuncu on halfway. His passing range has not been fabulous, as we say, or direction. Brunt for Leicester now. Iheanacho comes deep for Leicester. Man marked there by Will Wright all the way up to halfway, and he's going to stick with Iheanacho if he can. Vardy plays it off right towards Albrighton. Iheanacho into the penalty area and grabbed by Turner. Well, there's an illustration. Iheanacho, 1 minute, Peter, dropped almost to the halfway line. A couple of passes later, he's on the dead ball line trying to flick the ball past Turner. Turner grabs it, but that shows, crikey, that's the pace of Iheanacho and also the passing and movement, I suppose, of Leicester. Yeah,
again, it's that sort of ball from the right touchline, bending it round the first defender. That was the one that served Vardy very early on, and you think that maybe is something that, yeah, they've got the quality to do that.
Vardy to Iheanacho, back to Vardy, no, intercepted by Ema, but here comes Iheanacho trying to skip past a couple of Gillingham challenges. Ema had to get on that one, or Vardy possibly would have been offside, but maybe just running in on goal there for Leicester. And just in this last couple of minutes or last few seconds, Peter, Leicester starting to show their quality coming forward.
Well, certainly, you know, in broken play, if there's a bit of space, they will surely exploit it, and that's, you know, just as you said, we've got to sit lots of bodies behind the ball and just keep making it difficult.
Brunt to Tielemans, turns on the ball, right, challenges him. Tielemans slides towards the advertising hoardings, not getting a great deal of sympathy for clattering against them from any Gillingham fans, but it'll be a goal kick.
Yeah, no complaints from the Leicester player. Yeah, the ball's played too far in front of him. Wright's going to just step across. I'd say you've got to run through me to get to the ball, and he didn't, so it's a goal kick. So
still goalless, Peter. Gillingham
enough, and,
against, you know, Leicester City.
Again, following a very similar pattern to the Brentford and Wolves games. And, you know, all the time it stays 0-0, it just needs one moment, and there could be an upset.
Matt Cole and Peter Lloyd with you here. Lifelong Gillingham supporter, Peter Lloyd. Oh, it's a Gill's encyclopedia, I like to call them as well. But I don't know if that's diminishing your talents or extending them, Peter, but there we go. It's Soyuncu with the ball. BBC Red Against Sports. I'll be, for once, keeping quiet on that and just shooting me a glare. It's going to be Brunt on the right-hand side. Diagonal ball into the arms of Jake Turner. One bounce into the goalkeeper's hands, and, well, as you said earlier on, I think, one of those balls, quite happy with that.
It's poor quality, but at the same time, even for players this good, it's very difficult in these conditions. As I say, I just wonder, the second half, that sort of pass will be a bit easier for it. It will hold up a bit in the wind, gives a chance for, say, Vardy or Iheanacho running in behind. But thus far, it's been quite poor.
Low ball from Turner, flicked on by Jeffries in the centre circle for Gillingham. It'll go back to Tutonda eventually. Nicely cuts inside Albrighton, outside to Adelican. Outside him is Cashgett now. Gillingham committing players forward. Jeffries is left-hand side. Back to Cashgett. Almost stumbles over the ball, but takes it past one man into touch from Brunt. Will this be the long throw?
I think that's what the signal is.
Mackenzie going over? Yeah. He is. McDonald staying where he is.
Tutonda doesn't fancy too many throw-ins, let alone a long one. So I suspect that Mackenzie will be there. We'll load in the centre-backs. Everyone comes back for Leicester. And you know, they've got some big, strong lads here at the back, but swirling wind, just chuck it in there and see what happens.
Absolutely, the uncertainty that will cause. So here's Mackenzie between the advertising hoardings, throws it into the box, right flicks on, Jeffries got a touch but could do no more. Leicester trying to clear the ball away, just thumped by Albrighton, and it's intercepted by Gillingham. Left-hand side of Delican, nicely tricks his way past Tielemans. There's one. He's towards Ema, has to extend the leg to bring it down. First touch by Williams, out towards Chutonda, left-hand side. Just steps over the ball. Is he foul on his way back? No, says the referee, but Delican has it just outside the area. Tries to whip the ball in. Chutonda has it back with the cross towards Jeffries. Way edge of the box. Williams shoots, blocked, up in the air. Keeper comes Everson. Real chance for Gillingham. Williams has gone down after being challenged and having his shot blocked. Just a bit heavy-legged getting up, but a real chance for Gillingham there, Peter, but the block just stopping them getting forward. Having said that, they're coming once again. McDonald trying to slip a ball through to Alexander, right-hand side. Roar from the Gillingham fans.
Yeah, Neil Harris trying to get the crowd going as well. And certainly they're just, again, I guess the pace that the Leicester player literally has thrown himself at that, realising that Williams, that could be the moment to put the ball in the back of the net. Gills fans in tremendous voice. And any moments around their box, we've got to take them when we can.
Down the touchline towards McDonald, challenged by McAteer, and Leicester get the ball over the Gillingham halfway line. Ema heads it forward towards McDonald, and it'll be a Gillingham throw just inside the Leicester half. Just having a bit of the ball at the moment, Peter. Yeah,
it's no bad thing. No need to rush it now. Just get the crowd involved. No bad thing at all.
Now with Ema back to his goalkeeper, Turner. Immediately sweeps the ball forward, caught in the air a little bit, and Mendy will head away. He gets the ball back. Soyuncu has it now across the back three, but Leicester have had some defending to do in the last few minutes. Half an hour gone. Gillingham, bottom of League 2, 0. Premier League Leicester City, 0 here on BBC Radio Ken. Fabulous occasion. The new owner will probably like what he's seeing here, Peter, as well, I'd imagine.
Yeah, well, we know this is very different to what it's going to be like in League 2, but for 2 1/3 games against Premier League opposition, we've made ourselves very difficult to beat.
Here's Tielemans to Brunt. Back to Tielemans, Belgian international, who scored Leicester's winning goal in their 2021 FA Cup win. As McAteer plays the ball back to Soyuncu. Soyuncu to Vestergaard, to Brunt as they look for an opening here. It's Albrighton, right-hand side. Brunt has it. Vestergaard once more.
Good cover from Gills, but not over-exertion, not chasing silly passes to close people down, just making sure we keep a shape.
Absolutely, Cash get the furthest forward of all of them, but range across the edge of the penalty area now as Leicester come forward. Tielemans slips it to Mendy, to Brunt, not hurting Gillingham at the moment. They're more than halfway inside their half, laid off by Iheanacho, comes deep once again to Vestergaard. And Soyuncu looks for an option going forward. All you can see is blue shirts at the moment. Brunt has a bit of space right-hand side, but he's looking for the pass as well. In towards Vardy, but over the top comes Ema, headed away from Jamie Vardy, the former England striker. Kashket trying to turn his man on halfway. Just
very nearly smuggled it off.
He really did. In fact, it's got off for a throw, hasn't it? But I thought he was going to chest it forward. It's a Gillingham throw as well on halfway. But you're right, just a whisker away from getting in behind Brunt there and perhaps getting a run in on goal.
Well, it would have been quite something if he'd managed to do that. But it's good to hear the Gills fans in tremendous voice. Just gone past the half-hour mark, and we know how it's going to be, and there's going to be lots of defending to do. But well and truly at the moment in this cup tie.
Yeah, it really is. Goalless, but Gillingham have had a couple of shots on goal. One brought a save out of Daniel Everson for Leicester. The only shot on target for them. Jamie Vardy earlier in the piece. Take Turner smartly out to block it. Wright takes the throw down the left-hand side towards Delican. Delican takes an Albrighton, who tackles him well, actually. Iheanacho inside his own half. He just threads the ball to Tielemans, to Vardy. They come on the counter-attack now, but McAteer can't quite control it, allowing Gillingham to get some men back. McAteer left-hand side, though, tries to go round Alexander. He's all right foot, though, and that makes it easier for Alexander to block him off, and it's off for a goal kick. Warmly applauded, as if they almost as if they scored a goal, Gillingham. It is, though, goalless here in the FA Cup third round on BBC Red Again. 33 minutes gone.
Again, it's just decent defending. I mean, there's no doubt about it. They've got one or two square pegs in round holes here, Leicester, in terms of their selection, and the lad who's playing left wing back is certainly all right foot, a little bit ambitious, and Alexander and his colleagues knew a bit too much for him. That when he knocked it past Alexander, we were going to cover that easily.
So headed away by Tielemans. It'll be a Gillingham throw with 34 on the clock.
A bit different to Qatar, I would suggest, for Tielemans. It's a little part of a team that had a pretty disastrous World Cup.
Yeah, that's a good point for the Belgians. That were well below expectations of us going the group stages. Over the top by Emer. Kashket will get it on the edge of the box. Back to goal. Buffeted by Vestergaard, who's just done the business there. And Mendy is tagged, and it's going to be a free kick for Leicester. But yeah, Vestergaard dealing with Kashket there, and getting some helpful advice from the patrons of the Medway stand, Peter.
Yeah, and bizarrely, on 35 minutes, the first foul Gills have conceded.
And that's in the attacking part of the pitch. Williams to McDonald, trying to turn on it there away from his man in the centre circle. Williams wins it back. Good stuff from Gillingham this. Mackenzie, low ball into the channel. Kashket goes herring after it. Vestergaard will get there first. It goes back to his goalkeeper.
It's a pity that actually it was just a fraction too much weight on that pass for Kashket to take it in his stride and test the man out.
Here's Mendy forward towards Perez, has to stretch to slide that ball on towards McAteer. Right-footed back to Mendy.
But notable how quickly Gills get back in shape, back in defensive positions for Leicester to have to start again.
This is Brunt exchanging passes by Tielemans. It's all rather stopped there and intercepted. Challenge comes in from Chitonda back to halfway, all at walking pace for Leicester as they come forward, Peter.
Yeah, frustration from Tielemans there. That pass didn't go. Was blocked by Chitonda.
Just absorbing everything Leicester have at the moment. And long may that continue with 9 minutes plus stoppage time to go of this first half. It's still goalless between the League Two side Gillingham and Premier League Leicester City. Brunt to Tielemans to Albrighton. They play the ball around, mostly in the right-hand part of the pitch now, but coming across into the centre. Vestergaard to the left now, and Soyuncu just puts his foot on the top of the yellow ball. Back to Vestergaard, who's just sort of cantering forward. Left-hand side now for McAteer, cuts inside on his right foot, almost gives the ball away. Mendy has to turn and just pass that on to Brunt. Not hurting Gillingham at the moment, going back, in fact, slightly into their own half for a moment there, Peter.
This is good stuff. It's not sexy, maybe, but making it hard for them.
To Perez now, Tielemans ball into McAteer, first time pass, cut out by Wright, who very calmly just siphoned it out of the penalty area to Alexander. He was looking for Kashket with the ball forward, but it goes out for a throw.
I think he was just doing the percentages there, Alexander. They tried a couple of little touches, and he didn't want to get caught in possession there.
This is Tielemans now, out right-hand side to Brunt. Albrighton with a long cross in. McAteer misses his kick with his left foot at the far post, and that's good news for Gillingham. Goes off for a throw near the corner flag, right-hand side as Gillingham come out of their defence.
I'm sure he's going to score an absolute screamer with his left foot now, I'm going to say this. But he does really seem to use his left foot for standing on, doesn't he? Which, if he wants to play in midfield at the top level, I suspect he's going to need to, unless his name's Lionel Messi, I think he's going to find a bit.
Going to develop a left foot, that's absolutely right. But as I said, he is playing really out of position here. As a ball from Tielemans misses Vardy and goes through to goalkeeper Turner.
Dare I say, just rushed there from Tielemans. He's got a lot of time, player of his calibre. Could pick out easier options, going square, tried to play the killer pass, gave Vardy no chance. Just adds to their frustrations, I'm sure.
Well organised and compact defensively, says Don Hutchison on the telly, apparently. Talking about Gillingham, almost needless to say. McDonald is that going to be a free kick or a throw?
Oh, it's just a throw in.
Just a throw, right-hand side.
He's doing his best to persuade the assistant he'd been fouled. No one's buying a ticket for that raffle, I'm afraid. So Gills have a throw-in, but about 25 yards from goal, right side.
So Alexander throws it into Jeffries, back to Alexander, tries to trick his way past Perez. I think gets a knock tackling him there, just holding his thigh maybe.
That's good ball retention from Gills, and that was applauded by Jeffries. Maybe again not sexy. We've taken a throw in, we've kept the ball up high up the pitch. This time we've got a throw 20 yards from goal, and looks all the was though Mackenzie's going to hurl it in. Perez, I don't know what Perez is moaning about, to be perfectly honest. You know, he's just made a challenge for the ball, and it's you know, he's got a knock on the foot, on the leg even. So
I've got a graze on his thigh there, Peter, as you say. I think that's.
Perhaps he should use Traore's oiling up technique. Maybe that'll help him out. But
so it's Mackenzie then throws it in towards Will Wright, or would it go to Ema? Bounces in the penalty area, grabbed at the near post. It just floated in the air there, held up. Ema got the flick on. Williams at the near post, just couldn't get enough power on it. Grabbed by Everson at the near post, but another one on target for the Gills, causing havoc. Well, the conditions a little bit, but also those long throws almost paying off again, Peter.
Yeah, you know, not dealt with properly by Leicester. The flick from Ema could go absolutely anywhere, and on your day of days, you know, Williams heads that in. But you know, again, just enough to keep Leicester honest and to keep the crowd thinking, you know, there is still a chance here. And an important 5 minutes or so coming up here. I think, you know, that we make sure we keep our shape and discipline right through to half-time.
Oh, absolutely. As Leicester try and build once again. They looked a little bit rusty at times, certainly trying to play through. It's not difficult, it's not easy to play through, obviously, the mass ranks of the Gillingham defence, but at the moment, they're not managing it. Iheanacho on the ball now, goes for a bit of a run towards Perez, first time pass, headed away by Williams. Kashket tries to smuggle it out towards the left-hand side towards Delican. Albrighton with the attempted cross ball, but it comes off a Gillingham player, out towards the right-hand side. Tielemans to Brunt now for Leicester. Here's Mendy. Mendy to Vestergaard.
Would it be fair to say here that Leicester, no one seems to be brave enough to take a player on in a one-against-one situation?
It does
Everyone wants to
me,
pass against somebody else. These guys have been playing in the World Cup, for goodness sake.
You'd think certainly Tielemans can. He's driving runs, or even Iheanacho seems to be reluctant to do it coming deep. Gillingham clear the ball. It might bounce in field here, and Kashket might get on it. Vestergaard heads out, thumbs up from Kashket, because Gillingham have got to throw in a good advanced position here.
Yeah, that's, you know, again, just keep the shape, wait for the error, and then just hoof it. And Kashket gets over there, and the player doesn't want to take a chance in a one-against-one. Isolated, does the professional thing, the percentage thing for his team, heads it out, and Gills have a throw in about 25-30 yards from goal on the left side.
They do indeed. It'll be right to take, not looking for the long bomb here. As Delican tries to flick it infield towards Williams. It gets there eventually off a Leicester player. Wright has it back, curls the ball in. Attractive looking cross, but no one far post. In fact, Alexander's trying to make a man there, and more or less wrestles McAteer to the floor in his urgency to try and get at the ball.
Yeah, I think the Leicester was making sure that was going out for a throw-in. A little bit ambitious to cross, I think, but at the same time, good to have the ball that high up the pitch. I don't know where they think they're taking the free kick from exactly. That's absurd.
Well, I don't know what Sanchu's doing here. It was a challenge almost on the touchline, and he's taking it where he wants anyway.
Yeah, it just makes a mockery. Why not just put it where you like then, Beth? You know, that's silly. I mean, that's 15 yards from where the offence apparently took place.
Yeah, more or less did, as you say, decide where he was going to put it. Brunt.
Well, I wonder if he'd have let a Gillingham player do that, dare one say, as opposed to a Premier League player.
Yeah, did seem to just give up on it, the referee there, didn't he? Soyuncu to Brunt. Jeffries comes out, right-hand side for Albrighton. Bouncing ball, he does well with it actually, over the top towards Iheanacho. Wins it again, does Albrighton. Right-hand side, looks for the cross, and Wright just side puts the ball away again calmly. Jeffries has it, he'll clear it. Brunt stops it. Gillingham might need to reform here. Just defensive lines. Tielemans, Mendy to McAteer now. Back to Mendy though, he's on the edge of the centre circle. They've spent quite a lot of their time on a pitch map. You probably see, Peter, here, Leicester just right of centre, about halfway inside the Gillingham half, but not worrying them at the moment.
Just heading towards our time. Yeah, just want to keep the concentration now.
Yeah, Perez. It's having to come deep. Mendy looked a little bit grumpy as he just laid the ball off there, out towards Iheanacho. He's come deep once again, but again he's not Why no forging runs trying to force a free kick or something else on the edge of the box? I'm mystified by it myself, Peter. Not even to try one. Tielemans now with the ball. That's the instructions from the manager. Who knows? Albrighton, right-hand side, curls it into the area, across the 6-yard box. Mackenzie heads up in the air. Iheanacho's there, and Wright's there. Again, calmness personified. Just passes the ball out of his penalty area. Danger there, though. Albrighton has showed some real quality. Iheanacho now has a bit of space into the Gillingham box. Left footer curls it all the way past the left-hand post. Wasn't that far away, but showing his skill there, ghosting into the penalty area. Just that yard of space for a Premier League striker. He's getting a shot on goal. Wide, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult from this angle to tell just how close that was to the far post. But in a match like this, you're going to need your moments, your bits of luck, where a player is perhaps going to produce a bit of quality, and hopefully it's not going to result in a goal. And that's exactly the situation. Iheanacho suddenly comes to life because he's got a bit of space to run in behind. It seems that if we can deprive them of that space to run in behind, they look remarkably conservative, dare one say, with a small c.
Indeed so.
And we're about 5 seconds to half time. You can't think there's more than a minute of additional time.
I thought so. Perez went down for a while before the referee told him to get back up on his feet. Tackle from Alexander there. It runs to McDonald, who's charged out of the way by Perez, and that'll be a free kick for Gillingham. Applause for the endeavour and for the referee's whistle, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was just frustration, surely. I mean, it's a nothing foul, and I imagine that it won't be a totally happy place, the Leicester dressing room at half-time. We've got one additional minute. We've had 30 seconds of it already, and I think we'll take our time with this free kick and hopefully get it high up the pitch and hopefully get ourselves through to half-time.
Indeed so. This is
surely he's going to kick right here for Mackenzie again. That's the obvious target, out on the touchline.
Yeah, deep as well. Mackenzie taking up that position at the moment. And McAtee ducks underneath. It'll be a throw right near their left-hand corner flag. And that is half-time. Gillingham 0, Premier League Leicester City 0. Some boos from the travelling Foxes supporters from what they've seen, but Gillingham absolutely roused by their team's efforts. League 2, Gillingham 0, Premier League Leicester City 0 at half-time. Then the Gills had chances. It was Leicester that perhaps sprung the Gillingham trap first. Jamie Vardy getting in behind the Gillingham defence, forcing a save from Jake Turner smartly off his line. Albrighton providing the curling ball in for a first-time shot from Vardy. But a minute later, John Jeffries had broken through the middle of the Leicester half towards the edge of the box, right-hand side, and forced a save out of Everson. The bouncing ball from his parry, unfortunately not running to Scott Cashket. Round about the half-hour mark, Sean Williams had a shot from the edge of the box, blocked. 10 minutes later, ghosting in near post, flick on by Ema from a long throw, got a flick into the top corner, not enough force on it to beat Everson. And just before half-time you heard Iheanacho floating wide from just inside the penalty area. Gillingham have frustrated their Premier League opponents here, Peter Lloyd, and shown attacking prowess of their own. 0 at half-time, I don't think that does them any favours.
No, I think we're happy enough with that. I think the game has followed exactly the pattern we expected, exactly the pattern of the previous two matches against Premier League opposition. Lots of players behind the ball, keep it tight, make it difficult for the opposition, let them get frustrated, and at some juncture, some territory and some position and some opportunities will come along. And a bit like the game against Brentford, if you just take one of those, something amazing might just happen. So it's gone exactly as we've expected. And 2.5 games in against Premier League opposition, we've not let ourselves down at all.
No, absolutely right. Peter Lloyd, thank you very much. Windy one here. The subs come out to get themselves warmed up, perhaps to come on for the second half. Leicester with amassed ranks of 9 subs on the pitch at the moment, but a rousing first half for Gillingham then against Leicester City. If not a goal, certainly a very, very good performance so far. The new owner coming onto the pitch before for kick-off with his family, was warmly welcomed by the Gills. He'll be very pleased, I'm sure, with what he's seen so far. So goalless here in the FA Cup third round. I'll bring you one or two scores after we go round our grounds, actually, for the first time. Yes, indeed, we have a 6-hour programme today. After this game has finished, Matt Davison will be taking over from Ebbsfleet against Weymouth in National League South. Their game, certainly a big one today, Matt, in the context of their season. What is it, 4 defeats in a row, 2 defeats by Dartford over the Christmas period as well. Should be an exciting one today at Stonebridge Road, shouldn't it?
You look at this one and you say, yeah, Ebbsfleet third from top, Weymouth second from bottom. That can only be a home banker. It is anything but. And in fact, some have even suggested that Weymouth might even be favourites, looking at the form of the two sides here. Yes, Ebbsfleet have lost their last 4, the 2 games against Dartford, and now suddenly find themselves 6 points behind the leaders, Dartford, when you ask everybody a month ago and they said Ebbsfleet absolutely banged on, it's who's going to go out through the playoffs. And Weymouth looked like they were bottom for the entire season until they put a run of results together up in the last 6 weeks or so. So, Chaz, it's anybody's game, this, not a home banker.
It certainly isn't, and it's a critical game for Ebbsfleet, because after beating Worthing away 6-0 in a remarkable game on December the 6th, they've absolutely collapsed. They lost at home to Eastbourne, they lost away 1-0 to bottom side Cheshunt, they lost then to Dartford, home and away over Christmas and New Year, and they've only scored 1 goal in those 4 games. So goal scoring's a problem and the defence is a problem. If you've got those 2 areas where you've got problems building up, then you know that there's got to be something drastic in response, and today Dennis Kutrib is going to be looking for something from his players.
Well, in the team against Dartford, Ebbsfleet fielded 6 defenders in their starting 11. It'll be fascinating when that team sheet comes to us shortly after 2 o'clock today, and indeed the game will be just as fascinating as well. Oddly enough, I can't call this one. Ebbsfleet against Weymouth, it's our highlight, and I'll be with you after the Gills Leicester game.
Thanks, Matt. Yeah, Matt Davison will be presenting the show from the finish of the Gills game here. We'll, of course, have the reaction from the Gills game as well in the last hour of the programme as well. But plenty more to bring you as well in terms of reports and from our games this afternoon. Talking about Ebbsfleet needing a win, Maidstone in the same position in the relegation zone now in the National League. They travel to York City today, and Jed Pemberthy is there for us.
Yeah, good afternoon, Matt. It's going to be a drizzly afternoon here in Yorkshire, a metaphor perhaps for the seasons of the 2 teams so far. Maidstone are hoping to break through the clouds of their campaign as they look to climb out of the relegation places with a win. For the Minster men, poor form at their newly built stadium mean David Webside could also be sucked into the mix. Neither side defences are as strong as the Roman walls that surround the city. York have only won 1 of the last 12 games here and conceded each of the last 6, whereas Maidstone have only picked up 7 points for a possible 39 on the road. So as the rain continues to fall down the streets of this famous and picturesque ancient city, this game could either be a shambles or a Whitmer whopper.
Well, we hope it's the latter. But that's fantastic. Thank you, Jed. He'll be there with reports from York City against Maidstone this afternoon. Slightly closer to home, Tunbridge Angels playing Slough. It's certainly gusting here. I wonder if it's windy at Longmead for Matt Eastley.
It really is, Matt. It's blowing a gale. It's absolutely freezing. But so Tunbridge will be looking to warm hearts, obviously, today. They come into this game looking to arrest a 3-game losing streak, which included 2 defeats over Christmas and the New Year to Kent rivals Welling. It was a familiar Angels problem of not being potent enough in the final third, although they have been boosted by the return from injury of Ruben Suarez Jr., who looked lively when he came on against the Wings. Despite their patchy form, Matt, the Angels still lie in 10th place and today face a Slough side sitting 8 places below, just above the drop zone. And aside from an excellent win at Oxford City on Boxing Day, Slough have been on an absolutely dreadful run of form with just that 1 league win from the last 15. So, like Ebbsfleet, on paper, surely an Angels home banker. Well, not at all. Angels don't have a great record against the Rebels from Berkshire, and boss Jay Saunders will be demanding 100% from his Jekyll and Hyde side to ensure the points stay in Kent this afternoon.
Thank you, that's Matt Eastley. Yes, a very blustery Longmead, as you can tell. We'll also be at Dartford's trip to Cheshunt today. Reports from that one. A big game for Dartford, 5 points clear at the top of National South, hoping to continue that and maybe extend that lead as well. I can tell you, by the way, Bromley's game at Altrincham in the National League today has been postponed. The pitch unfit for play up there. It's a rearranged game as well for Bromley, which is how irritating that must be to get all the way to the northwest and have to come all the way back again. But that's the way football goes sometimes. Peter Lloyd.
Yes, I think we've had more than our fair share of disappointments. You mentioned about Maidstone and York. I can certainly recall the Vale of York is notorious for fog, and certainly getting there and the game being fogged off. And you know, numerous other trips, unfortunately, some pretty unsexy places where there's been last-minute decisions. I particularly recall a Christmas fixture many years ago at Newport County's Old Ground, where we had BBC Radio on the coach, and just as we pulled up outside, the announcement was made that the game had just been abandoned. So those things do happen. And Torquay, where we thought it's only a bit blowy, and we got there and the roof of the stand was lifting up. We could actually see it taking off. And for some reason that apparently wasn't suitable for player. You know, as long as he keeps off the pitch, what's the problem?
It's not quite that bad here, but we do now have driving rain going across the pitch for the TV presenters on the sidelines. That's not too good. I think Brad Gallinson is about to appear with them. Looks like maybe... Yeah, I think that is Brad Gallinson down with them. Here on BBC Radio Kent, some half-time scores for you from the FA Cup. Crystal Palace 1, Southampton 1, Gillingham 0, Leicester City 0. You may have realised that already. Preston 0, Huddersfield 0, Reading 1, Watford 0, and it's Spurs 0, Portsmouth 0 at half-time as well. In League 2, the early kick-off there, Salford City 2, Northampton 1 is a half-time score. But crikey, not great weather here, Peter. It's actually surprisingly bright considering we just got sort of sheets of rain blowing across Priestfield right now.
Yes, it's you know, that sort of classic thing about, you know, certain players in the Premier League, if they fancy a Tuesday night in Stoke, you might say that do they fancy a Saturday afternoon in Gillingham, because, you know, again, for all the talk about we take it professionally and seriously, they're playing the team that bottom of the league, for goodness sake. This is just
right.
Turn up, have a little stroll round and get a result. And you know, it's the conditions aren't very sexy. It's not going quite according to plan for them. You know, it's
not working out that way quite at the moment for them. I think we can actually now go to Cheshunt round the M25. Matt Gerrard is there. He's going to be watching Dartford this afternoon. I think we're just about to be blown off the gantry here, Matt. I hope it's better where you are.
Dark and pretty grey here at Cheshunt, but we've arrived from the M25 and a big game again for Dartford, of course. Been a fantastic couple of weeks for them. Unbeaten in 6 in the league. And of course, those 2 whippings of Ebbsfleet as well has put them 5 points clear at the top of the table. Teams have games in hand, but you have to say, would you rather have points in the bag than games in hand? And Dartford will come to a Cheshunt side who are in the relegation zone, but their home form has turned around of late. 3 consecutive wins in the league at home, 2 of them against Kent sides. They've beaten Dover, they've beaten Ebbsfleet. You feel that Dartford, arguably, we could say, Matt, this is the most important game rather than the ones who beat Ebbsfleet. They've beaten Ebbsfleet in those 2 games. No good if they can't beat Cheshunt, the side who are expected to beat, to keep up that quest at the top of the table. Dartford, would you say they're favourites to win this division? After the beating of Ebbsfleet, gives them a good chance. And they have got a 5-point lead. Admittedly, as I said before, the teams have games in hand, but they're full of confidence. And you would expect, on paper, this should be another 3 points for the Darts.
Fantastic, Matt. Have a great game. And here there's some sort of half-time penalty competition, but all eyes from us on Brad Gallinson talking to the BBC TV crew, and you can hear that in the last hour of the programme as well. But very shortly we'll be getting underway for the second half here, Peter. 1:30 and not much stoppage time played. So as Brad Gallinson walks off with media manager Phil Catterick here, the Gills owner. I want to pause when I say that because it's been Paul Scally for so long, hasn't it? I feel like I'm saying the wrong thing, but Brad Gallinson waving to the crowd here in the Medway stand, and we will imagine shortly be on. But I don't imagine Gillingham will be making any changes at half-time. The question will be perhaps more whether Brendan Rodgers wants something different from his Leicester side in the second half.
Well, I just wonder that in many respects, in the attacking positions, this isn't the B team, is it, by any stretch of imagination?
No.
you've got some pretty tasty players out there. From an attacking perspective, I mean, let's be fair, Iheanacho and Vardy up top, and the fact you've got Perry's and Tielemans in behind, I mean, goodness me. Have they really got better players than that on the bench?
Well, actually, I don't know if I went through the subs in the before the game started, but Alex Smith is their reserve goalkeeper. Workfast, the centre half who's been their linchpin basically of their defence, as you say, not an attacking player. Harvey Barnes maybe might be one they want to bring on, but they might want to save him for games to come as well. The winger Daniel Amati, a defensive-minded player. Patson Daka, the Zambian striker, a possibility I suppose going forward, and Didi, Timothy Castagna, a fullback, of course, Luke Thomas, another fullback, and Sammy Braybrook, a young defensive player as well. So they do have people they can bring on, but
they do. But are those? I mean, okay, made a bit of a case about Barnes, but really, are those attacking options better than what they've got out there? I mean, it's a moot point.
That's I'd have to say there's probably a question for Leicester City supporters about that. So I'm sure they could debate that, but it's a good point. I'd have to say from that point of view. They've certainly got enough quality on the pitch, you'd imagine, to beat Gillingham this afternoon. But at the moment, they're not doing that as we prepare ourselves for the second half. Gillingham, their bench with Tate Holt on the goalkeeper, Stuart O'Keefe, Mika Mandron, Ollie Lee, Callum Harriott, and Ryan Law. No Elkan Baggot on the bench this afternoon. We're not quite sure what that is, but was carrying an injury to the last couple of games. So
you do just wonder, of course, that as Neil Harris has said about when asked about do we want to replay, probably not. With some, with today, I mean, for example, today we went to Nate Crew. We've got a Stockport game to rearrange as well. But whether that will translate in the last 15 minutes, will we take a punt on scoring a winning goal? We shall see.
Yeah, absolutely. I know Neil Harris says he doesn't want to draw, but of the two sides, I think Gillingham would probably prefer it, if not just from financial reasons, Peter. I mean, it's another big game. It is obviously it's awkward, but it's not the end of the world, is it, by any stretch of the imagination?
No, yeah, obviously, we're not going to turn down the chance to play at Premier League grounds, that's for sure. Doesn't happen every day, by any stretch of the imagination. Although I haven't said that this season, perhaps it does. But certainly, we mustn't get ahead of ourselves. We've acquitted ourselves very well in the first half. Here come the Leicester team. We've got another 45 minutes plus of really hard work. This is still a very, very strong Leicester team. Yeah,
I mean, as you say, as we've done with all the preparation, I suppose, for the Premier League teams this year, and you go down any of these top tier sides, and it's just international caps after international caps after multi-million pound transfer after multi-million pound transfer, is it? That's the way that the Premier League has just moved away stratospherically from the rest, even from the Championship these days.
Wasn't it? I mean, some story I think yesterday that Leicester are thinking of signing a Scandinavian left back, and they're looking at the sort of money that would, to put it bluntly, would buy Gillingham Football Club, and it's not a big transfer by Premier. It's nothing like a big transfer. We're talking about tens of millions. It's certainly there is a chasm between the sides. Looking at the Gills team that are coming out now for this second half, it looks as though both sides are making no changes. As it was in the games against the other Premier League clubs, it's more the same. We've got to keep doing what we did in that first half, what we did against Brentford, what we did against Wolves. Probably have a bit of luck here and there. If we get a bit of good fortune in front of goal as well, then who knows?
So second half about to kick off. I'll go through the two lineups then in advance of that as the referee counts them all in. Gillingham with Jake Turner in goal. It's back to the Brian Moore stand now, looking towards the Rainer men. Che Alexander on the right hand side. A central three of Mackenzie, Ema and Wright, with Chutonda as left wing back. In front of him, two midfield players, central midfield players, Jeffries and Williams. Delican left. It's McDonald right and Cashgett ploughing mostly a lone furrow up front. We are underway for the second half. We're not underway for the second half. The referee, it's a false start. He does get it underway now. Leicester City with Everson in goal. Again, it's a back three of centre-backs of Brunt, Vestergaard and Soyuncu. Albrighton is the right-hander wing-back. Left-hand side On the flank is McAteer. In the centre, Mendy. Nablus Mendy is holding. Then in front of him, it's Perez and Tielemans. And up front, a central two of Iheanacho and Vardy. Vardy very much further forward. Iheanacho has dropped into midfield quite a lot, actually, Peter, to try and get the ball and perhaps run from deep. And here's Brunt doing exactly the same in the opening seconds of the second half. He's still going, edge of the box, shoots, comes off the heels of Wright to Albrighton, over the keeper, tipped over by Turner, swirling in the wind, had to be as well. That's a good save on his heels, and a corner there. You were saying in the first half, Peter, why aren't Leicester taking on Gillingham? Brunt ran two or three challenges there, almost sprung the goal for Albrighton in the end.
Yeah, certainly the initial shot was a bit ambitious and was blocked, but really good technique, you have to say, from the Leicester captain to get that on target, and that was dipping under the crossbar. Really decent save from Turner, and I'm sure Leicester have had a few words of advice and encouragement from their manager. They want the job done here, I suspect.
Absolutely. Corner from the left-hand side, swung in, punched away by Turner, edge of the box. Jeffries flicks away. Mendy hooks it into the area. Wright will leave it for Turner, and he picks the ball up. Applause from the Gillingham fans in the opening 90 seconds of this second half. Gillingham 0, Leicester City 0 in the FA Cup third round. But yeah, he was committing defenders there, led to the shot from Albrighton, who really, I'm not just saying that because of that shot, but I thought Albrighton was probably looked the best player for Leicester City in the first half, Peter.
The most progressive, I think, in terms of trying to make something happen down the wide positions.
They're just fighting for the ball on the right-hand side there, and Gillingham win a free kick. McDonald is shrugging at the referee, palms open, saying, I'm not quite sure what more Alex McDonald wants. The referee has told him he's got a free kick, he's going to get up. But there we are, free kick for Gillingham.
This is the sort of situation where Wright will take it. It's about 15-20 yards inside the Leicester half on the right touchline, as Jules see it. Leicester will try and hold the edge of the D by looks of things as a line. You just wonder, the set plays, is there a weakness? You just want Wright here to really keep it in play, give us a chance that players, perhaps this is where you want to bag up maybe in the team, but you just wonder, Mackenzie maybe the furthest player away from him. You know, a big swirling ball away from the keeper, maybe for Mackenzie.
BBC Red Kent Sports Hub with Will Wright, 47 on the clock against Leicester City. Curls the ball into the area. Iheanacho gets a head on it. In fact, it's a good one from Leicester. It's going to run off for a Gillingham throw left-hand side. Mackenzie's over there already. Does he fancy a long throw? He does.
I think that, as we saw with that one that Emer flicked on and Williams headed, I think, throw it in there, see what happens, make them deal with it.
So this throw coming from Mackenzie then. Wright is near post for the set piece, headed away, but as far as Kashke, will it reach Emer? McDonald's there, edge of the box, Jeffries tries to bring it down, just wouldn't fall for the Gills. Looked like they had 2 or 3 attempts or possibilities of getting their foot on the ball, it just wouldn't fall for them, unfortunately. Back to Turner from Tutonda, from Adelika, and he clears the ball off for a Leicester throw as Harry Kane opens the scoring for Spurs against Portsmouth. Very nearly Gillingham had the chance to open the scoring against Premier League Leicester City.
Just didn't quite fall for anybody, but again, that's the second time, a long throw, unsexy, but it starts bouncing around in the opposition's box. You just need one bit of good fortune, somebody takes a punt and it could be a goal.
So it falls to Wright here. He's been very calm, Will Wright, I have to say, this afternoon. I'm very impressed by it. As Vestergaard clears up into the air, but not very far away, caught by the wind. Adelika edge of the box, slips it forward for Jeffries, left foot cross, far post, McDonald's there. Will it break to Alexander? Chips the ball off the defender, does he? No, it's gone wide there. I think he was caught in two minds there, Peter. He couldn't put his foot through it. The position it was bouncing up towards his body, just got something on it. Eventually it's gone off for a goal kick. But again, Gillingham and the wind, we have to say, causing havoc inside that Leicester City box.
Yeah, some poor touches.
Oh, they're giving the ball away again, Leicester. Kashke with the back heel trying to find McDonald. It breaks down. Here's Perez coming forward now. Gillingham definitely on their toes here after that save from Jake Turner from Albrighton. They've come forward and really worried Leicester. Good challenge from Tutonda on Albrighton. Adelika's there kicking at the ball, so to Tutonda. It'll go off, I think, it'll be a Leicester throw in the end. I think that's probably fair enough as well. Throw in quickly, taken Iheanacho trying to get past Wright. He can't, and that's an absolute boot into touch by Emer. You can hear the noise around us, Peter. Gills fans loving this.
Yeah, that was a foul throw all day long, ref, but never mind. Certainly the patrons, I think, pointing it out to the assistant.
Brunt curls the ball into the area. Wright heads away. He's first man. Does well. Back to Vestergaard, more or less on halfway here as Leicester try and set up camp inside the Gillingham half.
Yeah, I mean, this will be the pattern again, I'm sure, for long periods. But Gilles, just in those moments when you get high up the pitch, maybe a long throw, free kick, whatever, could just be the moment. We've just got to keep our concentration and discipline again defensively, though.
Brunt now to Tielemans turns full circle. He might take someone on here. Low ball to Brunt. First touch won't find Iheanacho because Wright's intercepted again. Out towards Adelican. Curls it forward. Won't find Kashket. Vestergaard cuts that out to Mendy. Tackled by Kashket. Jeffries getting stuck in no uncertain terms. Referee gives a free kick to Gillingham. Jeffries just goes chest to chest with Brunt there. He's dragged away, but he is up for this, pumped up for this. They weren't supposed to win that ball. Gillingham, were they? Leicester had it, and a combination of Kashket and Jeffries over there managed to win themselves a free kick.
Yeah, I just think that Mendy just let the ball run away from him. We got backed into a bit of a cul-de-sac and just made it easier for Gilles then to get around him. And I think that, as anything, sort of, as much as anything, just sort of trapped the ball between his feet to stop Gillingham taking the ball away. But Gilles get a free kick, a few yards inside our own half. Right, it's on the right-hand side. You wonder where exactly he's going to launch this, down the touchline.
He has done indeed towards Adelican, headed into the pitch by Brunt. Volleyed away by Albrighton up the touchline. Wright comes off him, will go off for a Leicester throw. Iheanacho wants to take it quickly.
I just think I'm not sure that right, in hindsight he just didn't need to play that, but it's easy from the back of the stand to say that.
Indeed so. Seunchu to McAteer, left hand side for Leicester. Perez robbed by Sean Williams, and Perez fouls him from behind there. That wasn't a nice looking challenge, but that's perhaps just an indication of the frustration Leicester are finding themselves faced with here, Peter.
Well, it's just not in the script, is it? It's, it all starts once upon a time and ends happily ever after for Leicester, and they just turn up and have a nice little wander round. No surprises, no nasty moments, and they go through to the fourth round. I mean, they may still do so, but again, there, cheap possession given away, and then just a clumsy, frustrated challenge.
So this is Turner then with the free kick up towards McDonald. Seunchu heads away, but McKenzie picks it up, right hand side. McKenzie for Gillingham, smuggling Jeffries! Blocked to the edge of the 6-yard box, back to Dom Jeffries. Adelican shoots wide. Chances for Gillingham, no doubt about this. Oh, this is, as you said, Peter, not in the script. Leicester look rattled to me. Why Seunchu giving the ball away with that header? No idea, but Gillingham pouncing on the opportunities.
Yeah, I just think when the ball's up in the air defensively in this swirling wind, they just don't really seem that organised, Leicester. And goodness me, Adelican in particular knows that if he hits the target there, the keeper's got a big problem. Yeah. Just dragged it wide, unfortunately.
Absolutely. Leicester do come forward now, and it's Seunchu to Brunt.
Commentary at Priestfield soon, Gillingham against Leicester City. Just to remind you what we're going to do when that game ends, and we'll try and reconnect with Matt as soon as possible, is that we'll resume the programme from here. That game should finish just before 2:30. We're at Stonebridge Road for Ebbsfleet against Weymouth. Fascinating game in National League South. Ebbsfleet 3rd, Weymouth 23rd, but Weymouth's form far better than Ebbsfleet's at the moment. Our other feature games today are York City against Maidstone. It's a city that Maidstone have never lost in. I was about to say they've never lost at that ground. They never played at that ground, but they never lost at the old Bootham Crescent either. Jed Pemberthy will be there with reports and commentary, and we'll tell you more when we resume just before 2:30. But let's go back to Priestfield and Matt Cole.
Iheanacho scores, and that's the opening goal of the game for Leicester City. Gillingham unable to clear a crossfield ball. Vardy involved. He's come to the edge of the 6-yard box, and Kelechi Iheanacho, after Gillingham's best spell of the game, has opened the scoring for the Premier League side. Gillingham 0, Leicester City 1, 55 minutes gone. Heartbreak for Gillingham, who played so well so far, but they'll have to come from behind to get back into this match. Gillingham trail the Leicester City by a goal to 0. Peter Lloyd.
That's a desperate disappointment. We've had some good moments, and then a really scruffy goal. You know, ball knocked in, a ricochet really it's gone to the back post. Scuffed effort back across goal. Vardy hasn't been able to control it. Iheanacho's got all the time to stick it away, and I think that that's pretty undeserved in some respects. It's a scruffy goal, and certainly from a Gills' point of view now, you know, we've got to try and find something. Albeit, I think, you know, we can't change the way we played too much. We've probably had as good a spell in the opening 10 minutes of this second half as we had at any point during the game, but really, you know, it's easy to say goals can be avoided. I just think that on that occasion we needed that bit of luck, and it didn't quite happen for us.
Is McAteer cross-field, and yeah, they come swarming forward there, Leicester, and they are looking for a second here. Taunts from the Leicester fans, who, to be fair, Peter, have been very quiet because there's not been very much to shout about. I'm sorry you lost us, I know, during the commentary there, and almost a crucial point as well as Iheanacho finished that. But we are having, in fact, our colleagues at BBC Leicester, I'm not sure about 5 Live as well, are having problems at the moment with the communications here. But Albrighton tries to get the cross inside the Gillingham penalty area. Girona has a slide across and block. And Peter, this is an important time for Gillingham, isn't it? They just stay firm as they can and don't go 2 down here.
No, absolutely. I think at 1-0 it's still recoverable, but obviously at 2 it'll be very, very difficult. And suddenly, you know, there's a different attitude to Leicester and their supporters. They're confident. You know, we've got to ride this out at this point in time. You know, a little bit unlucky to go behind, but we don't want Leicester sort of putting the game to bed now.
No, it's right-hand side for Albrighton, then floats it towards the far post, right, heads away. Again, those balls going up in the air into the penalty areas, very difficult with the swirling wind. Jeffries brings it down, but he's challenged by Perez. Centre circle now for Tielemans. Tielemans goes back to his goalkeeper Everson. Gillingham pressing, and actually that clearance from Everson wasn't very far away from Adelakun, but he couldn't get onto the ball now. And obviously Leicester, from this point of view, this is the problem for Gillingham, I suppose, isn't it? Gillingham are sitting back, Leicester City playing the ball in their half. Is that time then elapses, Gillingham need to try and get on the ball and force their way back into the game, but difficult when the Premier League side are dominating possession. Yeah,
well, we know that they're going, you know, there's every chance they will dominate possession, yeah, we've got to live with that. We've got to try and tough it out, and as we showed before, they scored in the second half. We did get into some good positions. We've got to hope that they come along again. You know, so be a little bit patient. We haven't got to get back on terms or win the tie in the next 5 minutes. There's still a long time to play here yet, but obviously that goal a little bit, I won't say it's another play, but certainly a little bit unfortunate.
So this is Tielemans to Iheanacho. He has space, edge of the D, shot, saved by Turner, comes back to Iheanacho. Good save by Jake Turner, had to be as well. Very nearly doubled their lead there, and that might have kept Gillingham in this cup tie, that save from Jake Turner at his feet. Chutonda left-hand side, fantastic noise still from these Gillingham fans. Adelakun looked like he was fouled by Brunt. Referee says play on as Alexander has the ball right-hand side. Gills coming forward with McDonald off him. He's still coming forward. Goes past his man, does Alexander. Kashket joins him, off for Gills' throw. Well advanced up towards the Raynham end.
Yeah, surely this will be a long throw from Mackenzie. Load the defenders in there. They've looked a bit susceptible at these long throws, Leicester. Good response from Gills.
Indeed so. Throw then for Robbie Mackenzie into the box towards Emer, headed away by Vestergaard, back in by McDonald. Scruffy clearance, shot by Adelakun, deflected in towards the goalkeeper though. Everson takes it. Shouts for handball, was it, Peter, in the penalty area? I didn't see anything compelling from here.
I'm not sure that was the case, but you know, a good moment again for Gills, and you know, we know they're going to be few and far between, but if we can just keep ourselves in the game, albeit the disappointment of actually conceding, then at 1-0, the longer it stays like that, there's still a chance.
Yeah, Iheanacho now comes, the goal scorer comes deep out towards Soyuncu in a well advanced position. Gillingham backpedaling deep inside the penalty area now. McAteer to Vestergaard. 61 on the clock here on BBC Radio Kent Sports Hub. Hope you're still with us. Apologies for the drop out there. Something happening with the lines here at Priestfield, perhaps the sheer excitement of the occasion, who knows. But Soyuncu in towards Tielemans. Good challenge from Jeffries. Williams is there as well. And wins a free kick, actually, from the attentions of Mendy there in midfield.
Yeah, I think Tielemans needs to get out the road. And now he's complaining about where it's been taken from. I think he perhaps needs to get out the referee's eye line, I suspect. But Gilles still, plenty of time in this game. Long ball looked forward towards Kashket. I think he's going to win too many of those in the air.
Chutonda then, left-hand side for Gillingham, out to Adelican. He chips the ball forward, trying to find the run of McDonald, left-hand channel, but he doesn't. It goes off for a goal kick. Yeah,
it's a very ambitious ball from Adelican. Good movement from McDonald. That's the problem that Leicester had in the first half. I think with Gilles having the elements perhaps in our favour, that those sort of situations that the ball will just zip away.
Out right-hand side for Alexander. Vardy hairs after this, Turner's out of his goal and clears. And it'll go off for Leicester throw. Again, good advanced position with them, left-hand side.
Yeah, that was a little bit unfortunate in some respects. The ball did just stay in down the touchline. Keeper's come out and done the right thing, just clear it out. So Leicester going to back to the halfway line. Gilles back in shape.
Indeed so, and here's Mendy. Just tries to glide past Jeffries, might do that, but Williams tackles in, challenge comes on McDonald.
Surely.
And Perez's challenge was a naughty one on McDonald. It was late, and to be honest, Perez, it's not the first time. I think the referee's indicated it's not the persistent fouling, but maybe that's a last chance for Jose Perez on McDonald. But again, Peter, it shows that Gillingham have worried Leicester City this afternoon.
Yeah, certainly. We've been in the game. We still are, as we approach sort of midpoint of this second half. And what wouldn't we give for a Gilles goal?
Yeah, absolutely. So this will be right, floating it forward towards Mackenzie. Heads it on, headed away by Soyuncu. Is Mackenzie okay there? I think maybe he's just twisted something as he's come down, yeah. But now here comes Vardy forward, into the box, shoots, saved by Turner. Got down well, Jake Turner. He'll make that his fourth save. That was an important one. Vardy, clear, 1-on-1. We know how deadly the former England international can be. And Turner got down, got a left arm to it, Peter, off for a corner.
Yeah, tried to pass it round the Gilles keeper. Fortunately, he's come up with a big hand and saved that, pushed it out, admittedly at the expense of a corner. There perhaps would be a time where you'd expect Vardy to score every single time he was in that situation. But good save from Turner, doing himself no harm at all, dare one say.
But now this set piece, and Gillingham need to watch out here as the ball comes to Albrighton. Curls it towards the far post, headed up in the air and away by Wright, and that will be a corner kick for Leicester, left-hand side.
Yeah,
pressure here.
Did the right thing again. They're taking it short, dangerous ball swung in. Wright's got to get there first and just clear it. No point trying to get clever there. Cleared his lines, albeit he's meant to get another corner. Again, we've got to try and ride these moments out. There's still 25 minutes to play in this game. There's still scope to get something out of this tie.
Albrighton with the corner kick from the left-hand side will swing it in with his right boot. 65 on the clock. Gillingham trailing by a goal. Iheanacho. The wind is blowing so hard that it's blown it out of the quadrant from the ground. So surrounded by Leicester supporters there. Albrighton, some stewards behind him. Ball curled into the box. Soyuncu goes down in a heap over Will Wright. Referee's not interested in that. Challenged by Jeffries, comes off his man, and that'll be a goal kick for Gillingham. Mendy going over there. No, so it's Iheanacho, isn't it? Going across there. but good strong challenge again by Jeffries. He doesn't mind getting stuck in, Peter. We're finding that increasingly with him.
Well, certainly, with him and Williams, he's going to be the one who's going to have the legs, the energy, in fact a bit more the aggression through the midfield areas, you can understand when he played against Brentford, he was really going to be up for that one, but he's done himself no harm in these games against these Premier League clubs.
Adam Armstrong has scored for Southampton. They lead Crystal Palace by 2-1 in the early kick-off. Williams rides a challenge, does well there. Jeffries is fouled, goes down, clutching his ankle, and that'll be a free kick for Gillingham and just inside the Leicester half. But they're moving the ball quickly, Peter. They're tigerish in the tackle, Gillingham, as well. And it is this conundrum for Neil Harris, isn't it? They've played so well in these games, and I would say particularly in this one, when they've had an amount of the ball as well. Gillingham have shown themselves how quickly they can move the ball around the pitch, how quickly they can move themselves around the pitch as well.
I think that we've got to accept the context that these are games where we're sitting a lot of players behind the ball, we're giving up possession and letting the opposition play up until almost the final third, I suspect if we tried doing that in League Two, we'd run into a bit of customer feedback, I suspect, from the supporters.
Yeah, that's fair, I suppose. And
so it's a different, it's tremendous. We're showing that we can be competitive, and we can make it very difficult for our opponents from this exalted level to steamroll us. That's for sure. We've got to we played effectively 2 3/4 games against Premier League opposition, and we've only conceded 4 goals now. Which is pretty good going. I just hope Jeffries
is limping very heavily.
It certainly hurt him, there's no two ways about that.
Favouring his left foot there.
I'm sure he'll be very keen to continue if he possibly can.
Yeah, a snap at the ankles from the Leicester player.
We could take your pick there, to be honest. I think there were a couple of fouls. The referee already played an advantage.
Yeah, I think Mendy and Albrighton were both in attendance as something flies past our ear.
Our BBC Radio Leicester colleagues has just lost their data sheet.
I think they have.
Which was free kick.
I think they actually had it stuck to the table as well. So he's blowing a gale here. Offside decision against Gillingham there. It is indeed the official. And Jeffries has gone down again. Jeffries is on his back. I think this will be the end for him. And that is a real shame, because he's... I'd have to say, Peter, it's been a dismal run for Gillingham in the league, but Jeffries looks like he's improving as a player and has played a good part for Gills, and there's a bit of hope there for the future for Gills as well in terms of younger players.
Yeah, and with all due respect to them, O'Keefe and Williams are sort of heading towards the end of their careers. They're not necessarily that mobile around the pitch. Jeffries is someone who can play in centre midfield, who perhaps can bring that little bit of extra bite and energy to things. But we shall see. It doesn't look too promising for this afternoon, that's for sure. But at the same time, as we've said before, in many ways the important things for Gills is about staying in the Football League, and that's next week against Hartlepool and the week after against Colchester, etc., etc. So let's hope that it's a sort of more of a temporary issue for Jeffries.
Yeah.
But here comes that change, I look things.
Well, the ankle, Jeffries comes off.
Stuart O'Keefe back.
He understandably disappointed. It will be Stuart O'Keefe then to put on his number 8 shirt and come out for the Gills, and Neil Harris just puts an arm round Dom Jeffries there. He is understandably upset, Peter. He'd love to have played more in this game. He's really enjoyed himself so far. Had a couple of shots on goal as well for his
He's done
pace.
a decent job.
Yeah,
there's no two ways about that.
But he comes off. There's Dom Jeffries. And on comes Stuart O'Keefe. Goodness me, this wind is...
Has the wind turned around? Have Leicester got the advantage of the elements again in the second half?
It does seem like it, certainly.
Freefield swirl.
I'm pretty sure it was at least blowing in our face to start. It's now coming from, as we look, from the rain end. Yeah, it's hitting us in the left ear, so...
That goal kick from the keeper has gone out straight out for goal.
Yeah, yes, and I suppose that's the difficult thing for Leicester, but it's thumped forward by Turner, breaks to Williams. Williams side foots it. Adelican left-hand side for Gillingham as they attack. He's been roared on by Neil Harris, let alone the Gillingham fans. To Chutonda down the left-hand touchline, goes for the cross. It's picked off by Tielemans. Albrighton. He goes over the top. Ema gets the ball away. It's nice from O'Keefe, his first touch of the game, Peter, a composed one to Mackenzie rushing over the halfway line.
Being pursued by Vardy.
Yeah, yeah. I don't say that every week. Alexander can't get onto that ball. Perez is being hassled now by O'Keefe, but it's Mendy. Mendy to Tielemans. Iheanacho, Mendy. They're playing little triangles now. Advanced position for Leicester with Brunt. Brunt lays it off to Albright and back to halfway and Mendy. Obviously this is fine for Leicester, but this is more or less the way they played most of the first half as well, Peter, wasn't it? Just trying to move the ball left or right, trying to find a gap to play the ball through.
No, absolutely. And we've got to stay disciplined again and wait for those moments to come our way, because they will do eventually. But we've just got to try and keep shape and make it very difficult.
It's challenged by Williams on Brunt, and the referee will call that a free kick for Leicester halfway inside.
Yeah,
the Gillingham half.
Well, it took us 35 minutes first half. It's taken us 26 minutes second half to commit a foul.
Yeah, Leicester have been more aggressive, you might say, in that respect. Preston 1, Huddersfield 1, by the way. It's the latest score. Huddersfield equalising. Preston equalising a Huddersfield goal early on. Tottenham leading Portsmouth by 1-0. Southampton lead at Crystal Palace by 2 goals, 2-1. This is Albright and then
edge of the box here for the free kick.
Williams and young Brunt are having an exchange as to where Brunt should run. The ball curls into the area, flicked on and over the bar. Vestergaard up for the set piece, harmless for Turner in the end. Yes. He'll eventually get the ball back. He will from a steward, I think, not from the Leicester City fans.
No, a little flick on, but comfortably over the bar. No real danger for the Gills keeper. 18 minutes to go.
Yeah.
Neil Harris, is he just summoning a substitute there? I wonder, will there be... Yeah, the first one was the injury-enforced change, and a straight swap.
Maybe a Mandron, maybe a Harriet. I think Harriet might be coming back towards the bench, but stabbed forward by Chutonda, just up in the air from Vestergaard. Adelican tries to bring it down, but it runs off towards the right-hand side for Leicester, and Albrighton now looking forward. Comes off the shins of Adelican. Good challenge from Albrighton again. I mean, he's a class operator, Peter, but been really impressed by his quality this afternoon, when some of his teammates, perhaps more heralded, have not been quite as effective.
No, he's a decent pro, isn't he? Maybe not the big star, but maybe that's how you end up being captain.
Pasquet was forearms to the floor, forearm smash in the back from Vestergaard.
That's a ridiculous chat. I mean, Vestergaard surely is going to beat Kashket in the air 11 times out of 10.
Yeah, where on earth does he think he's going? Yeah.
Right. Adelican just dealing with the studs of his boots. I think when the substitution was made, he was off the pitch doing something to his boots. So hopefully he's got the right amount of grip. But Gills free kick, about 15 yards outside the half.
Yeah, Williams floats it into the box. Will Wright get up there? Sionchu heads away, not definitively. McAteer does put his boots through it. Halfway, it's Alexander back towards the Leicester back line. Flick on by Ema, won't find Kashket, goes to ground over the top. Vardy running in behind the defence. Turner gets there first for Gillingham. It goes straight up in the air, more or less, or towards the halfway line. Chutonda back to the Gillingham goalkeeper for another try. Wind blowing in his face again, tries to launch it forward, and it gets no further than halfway. Stalls. Perez obligingly almost heads it into the path of Kashket, but now Sionchu over the top towards Iheanacho. Iheanacho, he controls it, shot angled, saved by Turner on the stretch. Wasn't going at any great pace, and Turner does manage to pull off another save. Bowls it out to Alexander. Although Chutonda's gone down, I wonder if he's just stretching out for cramp there, Peter.
Yeah, he's had one or two cramp issues against the sort of exalted opposition. So long ball forward, just gets hard pressed.
Here's McDonald fighting for the ball. O'Keefe just couldn't control it, had it taken off his toe by Mendy, trying to bring it down perhaps for a shot. Iheanacho, this is Vardy into the penalty area, onside. Vardy takes the shot all the way across goal.
He's going to go off for a throw-in.
He will, won't even trouble Jake Turner this time. Gillingham fans love that.
That is off target, Jamie, I'm afraid. And well, but again, out of nowhere, really. I think Chutonda's in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, maybe it's not cramp. I was hoping more than. He just gets up. Yeah, he's got his sock rolled down there. Referee says, "Are you going to be okay? Do you need attention?" He says no. Harriet still waited to come on, but I imagine they're waiting for a slightly more attacking position than this, or at least not defending their lines.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah. Jill's got a phone right by our right corner flag. Just under a quarter of an hour to go, plus stoppages.
Mackenzie to take up towards McDonald. Comes off a Leicester player, Brunt, I think.
I suppose will the issue be here to just make sure Chutonda's okay?
It might be.
Otherwise, I guess if he was to come off,
I think he's given thumbs up there. I think.
So Harriet's going to be introduced.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Peter. Then sudden movement on the Gills bench to push Harriet forward for a chance to get him on the pitch. Sonchu heads away. Williams goes up. O'Keefe looking for a ball over the top. It falls to McDonald eventually off a couple of Leicester players. He smuggles it through towards Kashket. Kashket edge of the box. Has he won himself a corner? He has indeed. He's won his team a corner. He's won that Rainer Mender corner. They're baying for a goal, Peter Lloyd. 76 minutes on the clock. League 2, Gillingham 0. Premier League, Leicester City 1.
Well, Leicester have had some much reported difficulties dealing with corners, and this is our first one of the afternoon. They had trouble with the long throws. Just get it in play, give ourselves a chance.
Could this be the moment? Alex McDonald with the corner in front of the Rainham end. Signals now, it comes into the box, headed, chance the far post, couldn't get onto it. Chutonda trying to control it. Oh no, here come Leicester on the counter-attack. Iheanacho right hand side, plays it inside. It's McAteer to Vardy. Vardy edge of the box. Gillingham getting back, but Vardy trying to take the shot on. Does he? No. Runs away from goal. Gillingham back fast enough. O'Keefe and Alexander stopped him from getting a shot in.
Well, I just wonder, maybe that's why Jamie Vardy isn't necessarily an automatic first choice for Leicester anymore. It looked a little bit hesitant there.
Yeah, I think as you say, in past days, maybe an extra half a yard of pace, Peter, and that would have taken him past and into the penalty area, but not the confidence perhaps with it. Iheanacho turns full circle, but Gillingham just couldn't get an opportunity in the off that corner. Ema was far post, but just didn't quite reach him. Kashket is fouled by Mendy, and that'll be a free kick for Gillingham inside their own half. But showing, Peter, there's still life in this for them. They're a goal to nil down against a Premier League side as Callum Harriet comes on for Che Alexander. Will Mackenzie go right here, maybe? Right back with Harriet on the right wing. We'll find out very, very shortly. Applause for Che Alexander, who, like most of this Gillingham team, I'd say all of this Gillingham team, Peter, have played their part this afternoon. They're a full-hearted effort.
Yeah, we've put up now 3 performances of note against these Premier League teams this season. And, again, here today, no one's let themselves down, that's for sure. Is it fair to say now that Adelican is playing right back in a flat four?
I beg your pardon, yes. And Callum Harriet's gone. Yeah, Mackenzie seems to have gone ahead of Adelican, although he may come back now after the set piece. But Adelican is, he's right inside. Mackenzie's gone more into the middle, I think. Ball over the top, trying to find Kashket. Harriet is on this left wing anyway. As we look at it, I think Leicester are getting at least one sub ready at the moment as everything blows off the desktop. Here's Adelican with Perez snapping at his heels. Back to Ema.
It's a sort of 4-3-3 at the moment, but with Harriet and McDonald very wide.
And it's a good call there, as you say. Mackenzie is tucked into midfield. It looks like Patson Daka has got to come on, so presumably
2 changes, 2 changes for Leicester.
And Ndidi, Wilfred Ndidi can slot into midfield. Daka maybe up front to replace either Vardy or Iheanacho, the goal scorer, whose goal separates these two sides on BBC Radio Kent. Adelican pings off a Leicester player infield, eventually throw for Gillingham on halfway.
Yeah, here come the
and that might be it for
the 2 changes.
The changes to come on.
Is that Mr. Vardy that's being hooked? It's fair to say he's getting plenty of helpful advice from the Gills patrons. Yeah, very Panto-esque.
Yeah, the Leicester
crowd.
fans obviously rising in support of him. Patson Daka, the Zambian international,
Mendy
comes
that's
on.
making way, or
I think maybe Mendy for Ndidi. Yeah, that would make sense, wouldn't it? Holding midfield.
Vardy getting a decent hand actually from the midway stand. And yeah, that's the other change. So Vardy, the one saying past days would perhaps have walked off the pitch with a couple of goals in the second half.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe even on his day of days with a hat-trick, with the one in the, very early in the game. But as it is, we're in the last 10 minutes and we're still in it.
Yeah, Wilfred Ndidi coming on in central midfield. Daka replaces Vardy up front. Oh, Chitonda ran off his thigh there, Peter. I thought Daka was going to take the ball off him and run in on goal, but he managed to stick out a despairing toe to make sure it didn't get that towards the goalkeeper there. Mackenzie, but picked up in midfield by Leicester. Space now for Perez to run into. Daka looked like he ghosted offside to me. Well, the assistant's in line, that's all I can say, but
that looked quite close.
Yes.
And Mackenzie, we're now back to a 5 again. Yeah,
he slotted him to the back three, floated over the top, but Mackenzie does head away, so does his job there. Williams heads out towards the flank, and Delican takes it down now. Harriott moving left here, but they can't see him at the moment. Williams, I think he was just kicked on the ankle by Perez. Crossfield ball trying to find Harriott, does indeed. Oh, Harriott has it taken off his toe by Albrighton, otherwise he's into the penalty area. Gillingham win the throw though.
Yeah, good ball. Jules, are we going to take him quickly? I'm not sure if that's the right idea.
Chutonda towards O'Keefe, keeps it on. I don't think the assistant is actually watching at the moment. The ball curled in towards the area. He's dealing with officials from staff on both sides, but now he breaks through Iheanacho. He's got space right hand side. Ema comes across to try and block him. Curled into the area, far post. Daka, no, misses it. Tries to slide in outside of the boot from Iheanacho, trying to curl it into the path of Patson Daka. He slides into the far post, but goes off for a goal kick.
Yeah, that's the fact that Gilles try and leave a bit more space, go and change things. And we're here in 8,567. 1,893 of that are from Leicester. So yeah, a good turnout. There's a section of sort of a no man's land where there's also a commentary position. That means the central section of the Gordon Road stand is actually empty. And the upper tier, for want of a better phrase, of the Brian Moore stand also is empty.
So, with 83 on the clock now, 7 minutes plus stoppages to go, Williams tries to skip past two challenges. Perez has fouled him again. Am I being picky, Peter? He's already warned Perez for persistent foul play. That's his second foul in the last couple of minutes. Well, anyway, clutching at straws, perhaps. Luke Thomas will come on. Left back, will this mean McAteer will come off, or will they rejig? No, it does look like young Casey McAteer is going to come off from the far side.
Being thrown
Thomas will come on. Indeed so. So left wing back for left wing back.
And Gilles poised to make a change at the same time with 6 minutes to go. Will this be for Kashket?
Will he join Kashket? We'll go for a 4-4-2.
Yeah. It's Chutonda.
Chutonda's crikey.
Well, Mandron, I'm right in thinking, of course, that Mandron and Kashket both played as wing-backs for Crewe last season.
I think this might be a different situation, but I take your point.
So Gilles surely will go to 4 at the back now. Gilles got a free kick on the halfway line. Mandron involved now. Could he, he was the goal hero against Brentford. Could he do it again tonight?
Can they indeed? Can they equalise here against a Premier League side? It's Williams to right edge of the box, but always fearful of the counter-attack. It's a great crossfield ball, finding Iheanacho on the left-hand side. He comes forward, Daka's ahead of him, he cuts inside, read by Williams, but they get the ball back, Leicester. Iheanacho towards Daka, Daka to Thomas. Tielemans now to Brunt's 25 yards out, chips the ball into the area. Ema at full stretch turns the ball away, and Williams completes the clearance up towards halfway, headed on by Mandron, wins the ball in the air. I thought Sergio perhaps come a little bit heavily to the back of him there, but referee says not, and it's a Leicester throw.
Yeah, it looks as though Mandron's playing up top, Kashket alongside him on occasions by the looks of things. Gilles much more of a 4-4-2. Mackenzie's now left back, Adelakun right back, Eamon right in the centre, and McDonald and Harriet the wide midfielders, Williams and O'Keefe in the centre, and then Mandron and Kashket up top.
It's Perez then inside his own half for Leicester City, back to Vestergaard.
With 4 and a bit minutes to go, you know, could there just be maybe one last chance for Jules?
They just need to force that one last opportunity, perhaps. Soyuncu going back to his goalkeeper, Mandron closes him down. It's not a good kick by Everson, straight back up in the air. It's
very lucky there.
A miss hit by Soyuncu. It could have gone absolutely anywhere, as you're right, Peter. Actually kept the ball. Gillingham with a throw on halfway. Adelakun takes it quickly. McDonald turns on it, and Didi comes over to tackle him. And will it be a Gillingham? No, in fact, it's not a throw. It is now. Challenge on McDonald. It's level with the edge of the penalty area. Surely Mackenzie's going over there. Or McDonald's going to take it. One of the two of them.
No, Mackenzie's on his way. There's no chance McDonald. It's not going to be Adelakun. Mackenzie's going to hurl this in. Everyone back for Leicester.
Is Gillingham, this the chance?
There's no one apart from the keeper that's not within 25 yards of the Leicester goal.
Is this a chance for Gillingham to equalise against Leicester City? Thrown into the box. Mandron goes near post, flicks it on, headed away, but not clear of the penalty area. It is now, I think. Brunt got the header away from the edge of the 6-yard box. Mandron with a big header near post. Ball comes over halfway line, and Callum Harriott has to do some defending. Up in the air there. Tielemans lands on Mackenzie, and referee stops the play now. That was just looked clumsy, I'd have to say, as he fell there. Mackenzie okay? Yeah, just being picked up there, limping away. Tielemans asking what will happen now. The referee
drop ball.
Will drop ball, yeah.
I think that that last long throw again, you have to say that Leicester did not look secure. The first flick on, and you're just hoping that you're going to win a second ball. Didn't happen. Are we going to see that rare beastie, a competitive drop ball? What's going on?
No, I think the referee is going to send, as I understand it, I think they are a thing of the past here, not Peter. It's certainly Williams is being ushered away. The referee, I don't know what he does here, gives instructions. Well, O'Keefe closes down Tielemans as he gets the balls anyway. Into the channel, that curling ball, and Wright does well, actually. Iheanacho trying to get round him. Well, Wright comes up just a little bit heavily, just limping on his left foot, but all hands to the pumps now. 2 minutes plus stoppages here on BBC Radio Kent. Gillingham trailing by a goal in this FA Cup third round tie. Can they make the day of around 7,000 Gillingham supporters here packed into Breezefield and get an equaliser? Mandron flicks on towards Harriott. It'll run off for a Gillingham throw.
Mackenzie will take it.
He's come across to take it.
Hit though.
Harriott, first time touch, back to O'Keefe, O'Keefe to McDonald, back to McDonald from Mandron, tries to run it into the area, it goes down. I don't think it was a foul, Peter, by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, no appeals from Gillingham either. McDonald was just trying to shift it foot to foot, wasn't he? Played a really nice 1-2 with Mandron, but in the end the tackle came in and took the ball away from him. Throw for Gillingham halfway.
That would have been the hometowner of all hometowners, wouldn't it? I have to say.
Can Mandron win that one? Williams does, heads it forward. Kashket hairs after it. Has the ball now near the corner flag. Off his man. It's a throw right near the corner flag, right-hand side. The noise rises from those Gillingham fans at the Rainham end.
McDonald's going to hurl this one in so that Mackenzie can be another option in the centre.
Yeah, the massed ranks, almost everybody inside the penalty. It's going back to Adelakun. Cross coming in from him. No, he drops the shoulder. Needed to come in. I'm sorry, that needed to come in straight away. Here come Leicester on the counter-attack. Albrighton on the overlap. Actually, a good block by Mackenzie. O'Keefe did some good work there as well, but Iheanacho picks the ball back up. McDonald going for it. Just a let down there, Peter. Adelakun took a thought about it, tried to drop the shoulder, go past his man. It just felt like if that's a short one, it needs to go straight in.
Oh, he's going to give it back to McDonald for him to cross.
Quite, yeah. It needs to be in the penalty area. And but there we go. Gillingham have played a good part of this match. 5 minutes of stoppage time, which we're into to try and play the way out of it. Williams forward, trying to find Kashket to run on. Soyuncu just larrups the ball away over halfway. Ema back towards McDonald. He can't bring it down. Headed away by Daka.
Adelakun has just been announced as the man of the match. It's
Yeah, one or two quizzical voices in this stand, had to be said, but there we go. It's Gillingham 0, Leicester City 1. The important thing is to see whether Gillingham, in the remaining stoppage time, can force an opportunity, can force an equaliser here, Peter.
Yeah, suddenly all Brighton's realised he's very tired.
It's nearly 10 yards to pick up that ball for the throw. It's taken about 10 minutes. Tielemans flicks it over. Mackenzie, ball into the box, headed away by Emer. There's McDonald. He's played well. McDonald to Mandron. Back. Is Kashket onside? He is not. He is not. And finishes it anyway. Why not, Scott Kashket? I suppose perhaps takes a little bit of time out, but just...
he was always just offside.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a face palm from Scott Kashket there. I think he realised that he's frustrated with himself and the situation, and Gillingham don't get that counter-attack, that break on goal.
Yeah, that's interesting to see exactly where the free kicks will be taken. This is just, as you'd expect, time-wasting tactics from Leicester.
Yeah, just gamesmanship here now from Leicester City. Much more to come on the Sports Hub. We'll take you more about that when these stoppage time minutes are elapsed. As the ball goes into the Gillingham penalty area, headed away by Robbie Mackenzie. Tottenham have beaten Portsmouth by a goal to nil. Harry Kane with that goal. Kashket is challenged, not fouled, says the referee. Perez tiptoeing through the Gillingham defence, shoots, it's blocked. Turner picks it up, kicks it forward up towards Mandron, flicks away towards Kashket, heads it back towards Mandron, cleared by Albrighton, over halfway, picked up by Mackenzie, good control by Mackenzie. Daka, sorry, it's an offside decision in the Gillingham half. Peter, thank you for that.
That's no bad thing. It's about 10 yards aside.
You're right. Half. Listen to this noise. Listen to the noise from the Gills fans. We'd love this every week. But this is a big occasion, special occasion. Turner to take this free kick in stoppage time. FA Cup third round on BBC Radio Ken, headed by Mandron. In field, but it's going to go away, and I think one of the Leicester players, no, Vestergaard is back up. Mandron heads forward. Can it just get someone on it? No, in fact, it just went up in the air and Leicester win it back. Back heel from Albrighton. Daka's making headway through the middle. Albrighton hasn't fouled him yet. In fact, he's just heading towards the corner flag mark, Albrighton, I think. And yeah, takes it past Wright, shows good feet. And he's next to the corner flag. Wright goes flying in. Is that
it's a corner.
Is that a corner? I thought it's either a goal kick or a free kick. Albrighton is picking himself up from clattering into the advertising hoardings after a robust challenge, I think it's fair to say, from Will Wright.
Yeah, imagine not going to be any rush to take this.
No, time. Yeah, time ticking away.
Take it short, surely.
There's probably not going to be much added time. Tielemans goes over there, and they're just going to try and hold this as long as possible. Oh, chip forward to Iheanacho, shows good feet by Gillingham throw. Maybe time. Do they have to get it up the other end? They need it up the Leicester City end of the pitch. Right, says he's just going to throw it down the touchline to try and find Mandron to flick on. It comes off two Leicester players. Gillingham have more room to make. Mackenzie throws it down the touchline trying to find Kashket. Oh, comes off Kashket's instep in his eagerness to get to the ball there. Peter Lloyd, he's put a sprint on it. It's almost hit his instep and come off for a Leicester throw, and that may well be that. 4 minutes of stoppage time played, 5 indicated on the board.
Yeah, I think the referee's making the point to Leicester that he's well and truly on the case here about time wasting. So there may yet be a bit more than the 5 minutes.
So down the line from Vestergaard, Wright tries to chip it forward, it just goes off into touch, and this is draining away. The Gillingham patrons, certainly the Medway stand, indicating that perhaps they don't think that Leicester are perhaps worthy of their place in the top tier. You'll get that chant, but Gillingham, one last chance, I'm not sure there is here. Crikey, that was a strong challenge by Mackenzie at the back of Iheanacho. He's definitely felt that one. Gillingham fighting for the ball. Turner has it.
Got to launch it.
Referee's not stopping it for Iheanacho's getting up to his haunches now. Forward towards Kashket, won't win that above Sionchu. And that is, it's full time here, but Gillingham have lost this one to Premier League Leicester, but there are people rising around the ground to applaud the efforts of their Gillingham team. That hasn't been the way in the league this season. Miserable time in League Two, but showing some real effort here, some continuity, some flair at times as well to rattle their Premier League opponents. Neil Harris applauding the Gillingham fans at the Gillingham boss as well. They made a great noise. The goal, when it came from Kalichi Iheanacho for Leicester City in the 56th minute. Gillingham unable to clear a ball into their box and ramming home into the top left-hand corner. Iheanacho from close range, but they had shots of their own. Jeffries early in the piece, Williams near half-time. Jeffries and Adelican both had shots before the hour mark, and Adelican with a deflected shot as well. Could have been better for the Chiefs. Could have got themselves an equaliser, but Peter, they kept themselves in this game for a long period of time and had chances perhaps even to go ahead at times as well. We've said it before, they need to carry this sort of performance into the league and this kind of, I suppose, momentum. But what did you make of this game?
Well, I think as a, it's a one-off cup tie for the third occasion against Premier League opposition. We certainly have not disgraced ourselves. We've had more success, if you like, in the League Cup than we have in the FA Cup here. But this has been a very competitive performance from Gills, and very, very difficult for Leicester. They're wasting time at the end to hang on to a 1-0 win. I think that we should take great deal of pride from that. It's the difficulty is, of course, that this is